So I have this plant and it's called Dischidia Geri. So I'm actually not sure of it's a cultivar, so I'm not exactly certain of the derivation of this plant. So I know I have a few Dischidia lovers out there. So if you know a little bit more of whether this is a hybrid or if it has a different kind of species name, please let me know, because I want to know a little bit more of the derivation of this, and I'm sure it's named after somebody named Geri or Geri, G-E-R-R-I. And this is a little bit more of one of those hanging Dischidias. I've been really into them recently. I like to call them Dischidias, just because it feels like I'm saying a bad word. Oh my God, so bad. But this one, I'm actually starting to propagate a little bit now. Who knows if it will take, but sometimes they get these little like adventitious roots off the edges where the nodes are. And so I took a few cuttings of this one to see how well it would take. So I will let you know, but I think that this is probably a pretty easy one in order to be able to propagate. And the way that I do it is I just kind of wrap a few of the stems in with some moist sphagnum. And mind you, because this is in the same family as a Hoya, they have a little bit of white latex. So just know that when you're actually like chipping away and cutting at the plant. Now this one I have growing in a little bit more moderate light condition. Because it's so full though, it's kind of the light is being blocked out from some of the other leaves. So I'm probably going to start to move this in a different area of my house and probably in a hanging basket. With some of my beautiful macrame hangers that I'm getting from so many folks, because when I've gone on book tour and so many people give me like such wonderful gifts, and I've gotten a lot of macrame hangers recently and I need to put them to use, and I think one would be great in this kind of pot, which I have to kind of show you here. It's like one of those handmade pots that I got from a shop in Greenpoint, and I think it's so beautiful. Anyway, with the kind of like paint splattering marks. And so I'm going to probably hang this up and give it a little bit more full light, because in some of my hanging baskets where I think I'm going to put it, which is towards my northeast facing window, there's also some lights that are hanging down, and we'll give it a little bit more of a top down light. Dischidias are very easy to grow, in my opinion, indoors, and they don't need a tremendous amount of fertilizing. So maybe even just on an annual basis, like a 055 or 131 or something low in the nitrogen side of things would probably be perfectly fine. If you're growing this and have this in a more outdoor environment, like yay for you. I won't be able to grow this. You could probably put this out in the spring and summer months here in the Northeast, but you got to take it back in the winter months. It would not complain if you give it a little bit more high humidity. I've seen these things growing in like Thailand and like much more higher humidity and much more intense heat, and they grow totally fine, but they are growing them under shade cloth because they can get pretty chlorotic, which means that their leaves will turn yellow. So you got to be a little bit wary about that. As far as soil goes, you can see I have this in a pretty barky coconut kind of mixture. I just watered it too, so I'm pouring like water on my table, which is not a good thing. Generally with my Dischidias, I haven't had any problem with pest pressures, which is a good thing. And you know, they aren't always this like, you know, full growing. Some of them are a little bit more like kind of green sticks kind of going all over, but this one's got a nice full head of hair here.